Sure mil maith garrod a something queer chopped so. The wire at the core of the band, the Lily Bow, Lomdoi, Ballyhaunis, Le Fiancio, no Lomdo, Le Fiancio, my nomina Portigilic, at the core the Oda, out the no Lomdo, no of Le Fiaxis, at the core, the J has one no E. In case you're wondering what that was, it sounds like poor Cork Irish, but it's not, right? It's Fijian. I just wanted to do an introduction Fijian because that is half my heritage, okay? I'm half Fijian, half Irish, okay? But if someone was to ask me, who am I? My first answer would be, I'm 100% proud Irishman, and I like a lot of the population here in Ballyhaunis, which is great to see. We share the same kind of story in terms that we don't look Irish, but I consider myself Irish every day of the week. Okay, that would be ironic to say, okay, because if I was to roll back the clock 31 years ago, if you asked me the same question, I hated Ireland. Didn't want to be here. Hated everything about it. The weather, you name it, people. But to go back a small bit before that, you have to understand my background, right? As Jerry mentioned, I'm from a mixed background. My dad is from County Fermanagh. Very proud Fermanagh man. God love him. And my mum is from, actually, I say Fiji, but my mum is technically from a place called Rotuma. The first thing that I do when I go to schools or when I look at an atlas, I'll tell if it was a good atlas or not, because the first thing I look is I go right bang in the South Pacific and I try and look for my mum's island, and if it's not on it, it's a rubbish atlas, right? But Rotuma is a very small, tiny island in the South Pacific. It's part of the Fijian island group. So I just found it easy to say, where's your mum from? Ah, she's Fijian. Because if you say Rotuman, you have to spend about 30 minutes explaining where it is and how to get there and so forth, right? So my mum's a very proud Rotuman, okay? But I grew up in Sydney, Australia, okay? My dad immigrated from Ireland in the 70s and worked in Australia for 30 years on the building line. Met my mum when he went on holiday on mainland Fiji. My mum had left her small island, went to mainland Fiji, like a lot of Rotumans do. And I want to explain what happened after that, but out comes me, right? Okay. So as far as I can remember, my underage years, it was in Sydney. What a great childhood, great life. Anything a young kid could have asked for, right? Going around in shorts. For as far as I can remember, I barely wore runners or shoes. Lived off a diet of ice cream, and Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan were my pop idols, right? And then they were Australian on top of that, right? So you can imagine then, okay, come 1988, Dad comes home from work and he declares that we're going to Ireland, and then you can imagine the shock. Well, on my face. And certainly in my mum's face, my dad announcement was made, right? So shortly after that, we land in the metropolis of Cork City. Oh, jeez. In the depths of winter in 1989, in the depths of we arrive in Cork, right? So you can imagine I'm a shattered kid at this stage, right? Great life in Sydney, had great friends. I lived in a neighbourhood where there was other different ethnic groups, okay? So I had, I had Lebanese, okay, neighbours on one side, I had Greeks across the road, Italians, I had Russians up the road, so it gives you a picture of the neighbourhood that I grew up in. So I land, no disrespect to Cork and Ireland, right, in the late 80s, but I land where it was invasion of the Martians, i.e. the hAilpíns landing in the north side of Cork City, right? So, and I mean this bluntly, for the first 3 years after that, it was the toughest years that I ever put as a young kid. And the family as well, more mum than any of us, right? So, and the reason why I said they were the toughest years, it was because it was so hard to get adjusted to the climate. I wore 4 or 5 jumpers constantly, right? For the first year, unbelievably cold, right? Trying to understand Cork people, and it's funny, I talk like a Cork person now, but like, trying to understand a Cork person back then was like trying to decipher Hindu. It was like impossible, right? But basically, when you just look at the people that you're living with, we just didn't look to fit in, and unfortunately people let you know about that, right? Sadly. And I'm saying it bluntly, but it is reality, right? So you can imagine then, as a 10, 11-year-old kid, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I question these motives that come to Ireland. Dad painted as a great place, like, but it's not the great place that I'm experiencing, like, in those early years, right? And I religiously prayed, I used to religiously pray that Dad brought us over and there was a return ticket, and then we would pull it out and say, look, we're going back to Sydney, like, come on. And I prayed after first Christmas, second Christmas, third Christmas, no return ticket, right? So basically what you call it. And then when I look back to that time, right, there's a lot of things, right, that our parents decide for us. And looking back now, I wouldn't agree with 99% of them, but unfortunately when you're a young kid growing up, you're just at their hands and you're just, what you call it, at the behest to make the right choices, right? But there's one choice, okay? There's one decision that the parents made that I will forever be grateful for, and it changed my life in Ireland, and then now is to get involved in sport. So my dad enrolls me in the local J club up the road, in the Pearshire Hurling Football Club. Just to give you an idea where I grew up in Cork City, okay? People liken it to Beirut or Nicaragua. It's a tough, gritty area, but I love it, okay? I love the area, okay? I don't live there, but I go coaching there because I love it. And I go through the gates of the J Club, and it's like, I liken it to when you watch the Chronicles of Narnia and they go through a wardrobe and it opens up a new whole world for them. That's what the Pearshire Hurling Football Club did to me. Did I see huge changes overnight? Absolutely not, okay? But incrementally, the more times that I went through the J gates, I started to see the barriers stripping off one by one, okay? It's there I make my first best friends, okay? I still keep in contact with 3 of them to this day, great buddies. It's at that stage that I start to see the value of being part of a team sport and everyone like rowing together, having the same common goal, right? And like, being involved in other facets of my life, I don't see that same powerful bond as you get in team sport. And I'm delighted, I'm actually honoured and exalted to be in Cora Staunton's presence here today. What a legend. In fact, Cora, you should be up here talking, not me. I'm an also-ran. What it like? Oh, great person, great player. But Cora, I tell you, the powerful bond a team can make, right? So I'm part of that, okay? People in the club start calling you by your first name. They know your address, okay? They start to know where your parents, where my mum is from, okay? And all of that just builds up self-esteem like that. Look, yeah, I kind of feel like I belong here, okay? Yeah, they make me feel welcome, okay? And the greatest kick that I got being involved and participating in playing sport was the local community support after games, right? In Ballyhaunis, we'd have county championship games and afterwards, and then you'd be clapped off by your supporters, whether you won or lost, and they'd pat you on the back and they'd say, thanks for the effort. And as a young kid that grew up like with a half Fijian background, that was trying to look for a place, that was powerful to me. And when I look back in it now, okay, I'm going to throw the question. There's no spot prizes, unfortunately, right? But so when I look back in it, right? When I look back in it, it summed up what the J Club did to me, right? It summed up what the greatest human need is. Can anyone tell me what the greatest human need is? To be loved. Thank you. Like the first answer people give is money, and it's not. It's to be loved. And it's only then when I look back that's what being involved in a sporting organisation. In this case, for me, it was the J Club. It was to be loved. Okay. And over the years, you just got that love, appreciated what you do, okay? And the more that you got it, the more that you wanted to give it back, okay? But mark my words, lads, back then, was I a good player? Absolutely not. I was used to captain, right? I couldn't even puck a ball from here to there, right? But it didn't matter, okay? It didn't matter, because basically I just wanted to go back to a place that I accepted and loved. And through that, okay, I started to unearth a talent that I didn't have in me as an athlete or as a player. And it was just constantly going back, being worked by mentors, coaches that wanted to see it develop, okay, that cared, okay. And through the next couple of years after that, I started to realise that, look, I think my talents can take me somewhere, and it transcends me onto the county scene. I start playing with Cork. I make my Cork debut. I know I'm fast forward a couple of years, but I make my Cork debut as a 19-year-old, okay, in 1996. Like unheard of, like to have a half Fiji lad like playing with Cork. And it's great when I see J games now, especially my own team. We have guys from, okay, we don't boast the same amount of like nationalities that Ballyhaunis does. You know, like I'd say there's 5. Okay, we have 5 playing members in a club like that come from like 5 different ethnic groups. Okay, so and then I mentioned the power of representing your club at local level. When I started playing with Cork, you might as well multiply that by 100 million times. It was like unbelievable, okay? Unbelievable, and I won't go through my Cork years, okay? But like, it was to bring me on a 16-year journey playing with the Cork seniors, okay? Within that time, I get to meet a couple of Taoiseachs of the country, presidents of Ireland, okay? I get to meet the greatest of musicians this country has produced, performers, comedians, okay? I meet the great past and present of the J organisation, and I meet other people through my travels being involved, you know, playing with Cork, okay? And the greatest kick that I get, and I still get to this day, is I travel far and near, okay? And I'm greeted by the warmest welcome by the local people, whether that's up in Ballycastle in Antrim, okay, or whether it's in like Ballyskinnock in County Offaly, you name it, lads, I've been there, okay? And it's through the power and the connection of the J, okay? I'm just going to finish up, okay? Just on one point, okay? So over my 16-year career, okay, I've been lucky to be involved with winning teams, okay, grand. As someone says, you won, whatever, I says, well, the key is to play with a good team, right? That's the key, like. Whatever, we'll give a good player, but play with a great team, right? So I was fortunate enough to play with. So one of those years that we won, I was the captain, okay? Which is a very proud moment for myself, but for the county. We win the All-Ireland, right? We beat Galway in the final. Sorry, lads from Galway, okay? And it was only shortly, okay, so I collect the cup, get it off the Uachtaráin and Cumrúclaiscill at the time, Seán Kelly. I go back into the dress room, and Cora will tell you, like, there's only about a 10-minute period in the dress room, right, that you get to yourself before the madness begins, right? Everyone will be coming into the dress room when you go out and you meet the fans and so within that 10 minutes, right, okay, it kind of dawns on me in my head, that's it, even though I am not of you, I have become one of you. And then that's what, that's what summed up that out of final captain in Cork, that it was only then that I kind of declared myself, yeah, and I laughed and I said, look, Dad, if you're still holding that return ticket, rip her out, because basically I'm not going back to City. And then just to finish off, I speak on behalf of the great work that the GA does. I know there's other sporting organisations, other organisations for that matter, that do great work. Don't underestimate the value and the power that you do, especially to people from my background that come here, that are looking for a home, and I was the last kid, and they just put me on a steady path, and I suppose one of my paybacks is I'm now one of those coaches in the club, welcoming. We have a couple of kids with different round welcoming, and it's funny the way the wheel is turned, and then there I am, like kind of helping kind of next generation of Irish people that come here, kind of looking for a new home. So look, Seán méid le tárá gomsa, gur mágad as an cuirde agus ganarílim, okay? So.